Hi, Jamie Davis, the Pod Medic here, back with another segment from our Medicast TV weekly commentary series. And we're going to continue on in our look at some of the EMSmanager.net customer base and the little things that they're finding are just greatly improving the way they handle scheduling and management of their systems. I've got Doug Goodwin from South Carolina here to chat this week and talk with us about how things are getting better using EMS Manager in their system. Hi, I'm really excited to have with me here Doug Goodwin. He's the Assistant Director for Upstate Carolina EMS. Did I get that right?
You got it right, sir.
Fantastic. Doug, tell us a little bit about what your position is and where you are located there in South Carolina.
Well, like you said, I'm the Assistant Director. I also do training, act as a training coordinator and scheduling activities. We are in Gaffney, South Carolina, which is in the Upstate. I'm basically dead in the middle between Charlotte, North Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
Right off of I-85 or I-85. Right.
I drove right by there. I was in Atlanta last week with the family, so I went right by.
You get to see the big peach on the side of the interstate.
I saw that. That's fantastic. I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yes, sir. That's us.
So tell us a little bit about how you all were handling scheduling there before you hooked up with EMS Manager.
Well, our service, we do work 24-hour shifts, so we're on 24 and off 48. Have 3 different supervisors, one for each shift, and they basically handled their own schedule individually.
Okay.
Paper methods, or some of them preferred to use, just a Microsoft Word calendar,
Okay.
and conducted it that way. Each supervisor contacted, several employees for, they covered their shift with their full-time paramedics and EMTs that were on their shift, and then as far as filling in empty slots, it was just jump in and grab who you could, and people would, our employees would contact them and submit availability. But there was not a whole lot of oversight in regards to, monitoring overtime and that sort of thing.
Right. So how did you find out about EMS Manager? What drew you to checking it out?
Well, I guess over time and browsing the internet, I knew there was software out there or schedule managers out there, and I just Googled. Just one day, I was working on the schedule. I was trying to myself combine the 3 different supervisor schedules and manually, calculate hours and monitor overtime. And I just kind of had enough one day, so I Googled something, EMS scheduling software to that effect, and found a couple, spoke with representatives and everything, and with different companies, and just kind of liked the demo through that EMS Manager offered. And
it's a really elegant solution, isn't it, to have that web-based software?
It's all, with today's world, I mean, everybody has the internet at home, they have computers home and on their phones, and so it puts scheduling, it just makes it too easy. And
I like that.
All of the information at any time is available. And there's never any confusion about where I'm working tomorrow or who have I got coming in tomorrow, or who's at medic 3 or medic 4. I mean, it's just all right there on the phone if you want it to be.
What was the biggest change you noticed when you started using EMS Manager from before? Was it the time spent scheduling? Was it the change in the way you handled overtime?
All of the above.
Okay.
We as far as time doing the schedule, it was a very easy learning curve. And to be honest with you, 2 of the 3 supervisors, I wouldn't say were very technologically savvy, if I'm saying that correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they picked it up very easy. And so especially scheduling your people that are, work the regular 24/48, and from here to next year where they're going to be and what days they're working, we're able to get them in there easily. Our employees, now instead of having to track people down, contact them and ask for their availability and stay on top of them, they can sit at home, and just get on the computer and submit their availability, see where openings are, and it kind of brought everybody together at one place, so to speak. And I know when I sit down and work on the schedule, every person's availability is right there in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
The hours, I know when I sign somebody up how many hours they've worked for the pay period or for the month or whatever I want to know. I know who makes changes. As an administrator in the program, every change that's made, I can see who made that at what time they made it. I mean, if it's just, you really have control, ultimate control, over your schedule. There's no question about anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing, isn't it, that you went from having almost no control over scheduling, relying on 3 different people to do it, not even having a good handle on what kind of overtime there was, to at this point, opening up a page in a web browser and instantly knowing what's going on just by glancing at it.
Instead of having to make several phone calls, it allows me to type in a message and just send out a mass text, mass email. The employee has the option to choose how they receive the information, but I can just, at the click of a button and a few keystrokes, get information. It may not even be information pertinent to the schedule. It allows me to send out anything to every employee.
Training updates, protocol changes, anything that comes down the pipe, you've got it.
It's there, whatever we need. And that's another thing. It's really not just scheduling software. There's a library that we like to use. We put our policies, procedures, our truck checkoff sheets. Here in South Carolina, we have some mandatory information DHEC requires our employees to have access to, and so we're able to put that on there. I can today when we caught a problem on one of our substation computers. It didn't have our checkoff sheets in Microsoft Excel. It didn't have Excel on the computer. I was able to just right there from my office make it into a PDF and send it so then they could print it out. I mean, it cut out what it would have been before, a lot of work.
Just giving you really not just scheduling software, but really a management package.
Absolutely, I can schedule. We do our schedule a month in advance.
Okay.
People can submit availability as far in advance as they would like to. They like it. I don't have to go out here and call them or hound them. Hey, I need to know when you can work. I need to know when you can work. It's already there when we go to create the schedule because they've taken the effort to put it in themselves.
And it gives the employee, doesn't it? Don't you hear from your employees that they have more control over their schedule themselves than they've ever had?
Yes, their schedule. They can see the entire schedule as we do, or their individual schedule with events around it, such as in-service training, or the service I work for is managed by a hospital, and so we're very involved with our local hospital and their events and classes. There's no reason for somebody to say I didn't know or I wasn't told, which brings up the EMS Manager software has the option that if there's some information that I want every employee to know, that when they open up their browser and they log in, they have to acknowledge that they've received this information.
Yeah.
And again, communications, it brings everything together at one site or one place.
So Doug, if you were to share a tip or a recommendation with somebody that's just looking for something like this out there, what might you say to them about your initial impressions of EMS Manager?
I don't know what they would hesitate, any reason that they would hesitate to try it. It does not, if you contact EMS Manager, my representative was Erica Hawkins. She was extremely helpful. She asked me a few basic questions about our service. I gave her a little bit of information about how we worked, how we rotated, number of employees, and she set it up for me. So the demo was was a fit to me. I wasn't trying to adapt to somebody else's service.
Right.
It was a fit for me. She did all the hard work. We spent a little bit of time online, like 20 minutes one day. She showed me the ins and outs, and then I just I sat down with it, played with it, and knew very quickly I liked it. We it's not hard to get started. It doesn't, if you want to test it out and play with it, it doesn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say, hey, you know what, that this is not going to work for us, it's so adaptable and modifiable that I don't see how it couldn't.
Yeah.
You're not out anything but maybe a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's so customizable, and the upgrades come down very quickly when they've got something, because it's web-based. You don't have to install anything. The updates just happen, and like you said, it seems like the support is just always there.
Oh, I think I've since we've done the deal, we purchased it, we're done. But I can't. My representative again, Erica, she contacts me about every other day. How are you doing? Call me anytime. She's been very, very helpful to me, and the support is available 24/7. It doesn't matter what time it is. If you're having trouble, there's help there for you. I do not anticipate though much trouble, because it is so user friendly and so easy to do.
Well, that's great to hear, Doug. And again, I just want to thank you. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy, but I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts about how EMS Managers made an impact for you. And hopefully some others out there have gotten an opportunity to hear some things that maybe encourage them to just check it out. And so we will let them do that. Doug, thanks a lot, and stay safe down there.
Jamie, thank you.
And that's going to wrap up another segment here of MedicCast TV. Remember, you can find all the segments on MedicCast TV over at mediccast.tv, and you'll find all of the weekly segments, all of our tip segments, and of course, our full-length MedicCast weekly episodes in video over there as well at mediccast.tv. Don't forget, you can always get back in touch with me. Shoot me an email to podmedic@mac.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I do respond back to every email that comes in, so keep them coming. I'm Jamie Davis, the Pod Medic. I'll be back soon with more segments here on the weekly commentary here at mediccast.tv. In the meantime, remember to stay safe and scene safety, BSI.